Peace, peace. Welcome to Spears and Mics. Today we got part two, highly anticipated part two of our brother Watt, his story. And if you recall, part one, we talked a lot about his upbringing in Queens, his neighborhood in Queens, the legendary people that are from his community, his upbringing. We talked about education. We talked about a lot of different things with the brother, and now we're going to focus on some things and we're going to really talk about faith. We're going to talk about his journey um, in the Navy. So, you know, what interested you in, like, you're a senior in school, whatever the case may be, and what brought you into the military? Why the Navy? How'd that go down?
First, I had 9 credits because I really wasn't going to school.
Hmm.
And it's not because I had 9 credits because I wasn't going. It's not like I was going and not passing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because I'm sure if I would have went like I was supposed to, I would have had all my credits. So,
Right.
my mother had to sign me out of school, and I ended up going to the GED program and getting my GED at 17, right? So, after that, since my mother and her sisters are educators, like you accomplish one thing, that's fine and good, but what you gonna do next was, that was the thing in my family. So I enrolled in Borough Manhattan Community College, BMCC. I was supposed to go there for music. Um, I remember I was supposed to go to orientation, and I had to be out the house at like 6 in the morning to get on the train. And instead, I was on the corner of my block smoking a blunt with my man. And my mom was dropping my baby brother off at the time. I think he was like 1 or something like that. And she caught me, and like she went to my grandfather and was like, yo, like, I don't know what to do. My grandfather was like, yo, send him to the recruiter's office. So my mother called out of work that day, and we went to the recruiting office, and um the upstairs, the Navy office was right across from the Air Force. So my mother went to the Air Force office, knocked on the door, nobody answered. Then this dude come out from the Navy office. He was like, "How may I help you?" She was like, "We looking for the Air Force." And he was like, "Navy?" She was like, "Nah, the Air Force." And he was like, "Nah, you want the Navy." So brought us in the office, start talking. Um, he had a one-on-one conversation with me, asking me some questions. And he was like, "Yo, like, do you do any drugs?" And I was like, "Nah, I smoke weed though." And he was like, "When the last time you smoked?" And I was like, "I'm high right now." So he gave me this face. So, yo, um, shout out to well, at the time he was a bosun mate second class, Kudrat. I think he might have made chief. I'm not sure. I don't know. But shout out to him because he used to come to my house every day and PT me. That means physical training. And he used to make me drink like 2, 3 gallons of water a day. He had a gallon jug with my name on it. You know what I'm saying? Now he used to make me fill it up and empty it like 3 times a day to get that THC out my system to send me to boot camp. So I ended up working all summer with him, and then I
Stop
left.
smoking right away.
Yeah, I had to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I took it serious.
He giving
I
you
wasn't doing nothing.
urinalysis like
Yeah, he was giving me
often,
urinalysis
right?
at the end of every day. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I left in October of 2000. I left in October to Great Lakes, Illinois, to 2000 to do boot camp. You know what I'm saying? It was brick, man. That's like the coldest I ever been in my life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I think during we had a bad snowstorm. I think it was like minus 32 or something like that. Something like that. Like we couldn't even march properly. We just had to walk. Like dudes was Like, yo, that's like freezing cold, man. It's like so cold you don't even want to talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you outside, you had to have like your face covered up. They, they issue you everything. Ski mask, scully, um, gloves, scarf. I used to have a scarf wrapped around my face, man. Like, it was crazy. It was
And
crazy
that's official
cold,
boot
man.
camp, right? Like the
Yep,
official.
yep, yep, yep. It was supposed to be
How many weeks was that?
it was supposed to be 9 weeks. Supposed to be 9, but I did extra because I had a fight in there, so they set me back like 2 weeks. And I think me and this dude from the Bay Area was arguing, because I was talking to this female, she was from LA, like when we had downtime, because we had females in our division in boot camp. And I was talking to this female, trying to kick it to her, whatever. She was from LA. And dude kept butting in the conversation. So we ended up arguing because I'm like, yo, I'm not even talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he butted in the conversation. So I was like, yo, we could go in the back, you know what I mean, by the staircase or whatever. And this dude that was on watch, like he told on us. Me and dude was in the staircase fighting. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Rat bastard.
yeah, I tried to throw son down the flight of steps. You know what I mean? And they ended up we both ended up getting in trouble. We both had to call our parents and tell them we're not graduating on time. And they sent us to the same division. They put us in the same division, and we had to be bunkies. You know what I mean? Because it forced us, and we actually became cool. We wasn't like the best of friends, but it forced us to work together. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, because we had to make our beds up. Everybody had to like that was crazy, man. Like, you know, um, like getting woken up 4 in the morning every morning. You gotta be at attention. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be standing in front of your rack at attention, and they inspecting you. Then you gotta make your bed up, and you gotta have the sheets on a 45-degree angle. Your blanket gotta be folded a certain kind of way, and if it's
How
not,
did they wake
like
you up?
they just come in, flip the lights on, and start spazzing.
Barking.
Yeah, like yo, everybody get up, depending on who it is. Like when I was in boot camp, you got 3 RDCs. That's recruit division commanders, right? So it's 3 of them. It's normally one woman, 2 dudes, right? So all of them is like, yo, we had this one dude when I was in my first division before I got in trouble. Yo, he reminded me of Bolo Young.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he Asian dude,
Brolic.
brolic, serious, couldn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like couldn't really understand him too much. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the thick Korean accent, but he was serious. And when
Right.
he come in and he starts screaming, like dudes would get up, you know. And like I said, I remember one time we had went to Chow and they did we came back and we saw a tornado. Like a tornado is when like they take your mattresses and sheets and everything and just throw everything. So that, like everything be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And we had to like make our beds up because what like yo, dudes was like, yo, if we can't bounce a cord off your rack, the rack ain't right. It ain't tight enough. You know what I'm saying? So that was one thing, man. And it was a culture shock, man, going in that. That's like jail. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do what you
Hmm.
want. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk unless you
Right.
spoken to, unless you responding. You know what I'm saying? And me, I was 18, so I wasn't used to like people talking crazy to me like that, unless we
Right.
fighting right after or something, or we got some type of altercation is going to occur. So anyway, I had to do 2 extra weeks or whatever, and then I graduated. My family came. Um, Real proud moment. I think that might have made me feel more patriotic than my entire enlistment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like just because you feel accomplished, like getting through boot camp and Like you gotta go through this week. It goes week by week. You know what I'm saying? Like week 0, week 1, and then each day has a day 1-1, day 1-2, day 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
week 1-1, week 1-2, week 1-3, and then it goes to the second week and then the third week, and then but there's this week where you got to do battle stations. That's where they wake you up at like 7 o'clock in the evening, and you got to stay up all night and do drills and run the entire base doing drills, doing different kind of drills. And if they catch you falling asleep, you could start all the way boot camp back to day one. You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, and it's crazy because like when you graduate, they like you got your recruit hat on the whole time, but when you complete battle stations, you get a Navy cap. It's like it's black with gold letters and it say Navy. The recruit hat is black and it say recruit in gold letters across. So when you get the Navy cap, like you standing in front of this screen in this room, and the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy is on the screen talking, congratulating you, and they got this song called "Proud to Be an American," and you so tired. And, yo, the psychology in the military is so crazy because everybody was in there crying, even if you ain't want to cry. Like dudes was in there shedding tears because it made you feel like you really accomplished something. On top of you being tired, on top of you being hungry, so they kind of like the mental games is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, man. I did that in Great Lakes. I did my um seamanship training in Great Lakes also, so I didn't have to go fly anywhere else to complete my training. And then I got shipped off to a brand new ship, the USS Iwo Jima, LHD-7. That's a landing helo dock class, ship number 7. You know, the mission of the ship is to transport um Marines by air and by sea. You know, we had hovercrafts, we had all types of aircrafts, and then we had the hovercrafts, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what that was like with boot camp and going to a new ship. I'm actually a plank owner. That means
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the first onboard crews. We commissioned the ship. You know what I'm saying? Made it an official Navy vessel. So when the ship gets decommed in like the next whatever years, I forgot how many years ships stay commissioned and then they go to decom and we're supposed to get a piece of the ship. I got my plank on a I think my mom and or my grandmother, I think my mother has my plank on a plaque. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I might post a picture of it one day. I'm probably gonna go to her house and
No, that's
take a
dope.
picture of it. Yeah.
That's dope. So while you were, so you finished boot camp,
Mhm.
you're starting to, I guess, travel around on that ship, right? Are you making moves on that very ship that you mentioned?
Well, first, when I got my orders, like I said, the ship was being built still.
Right.
So and that was in Pascagoula, Mississippi. So before that, I had to go to Norfolk, Virginia, because that's where I was going to be stationed on the ship in port, right? So Naval Station Norfolk is the biggest naval base, right? Um, in the United States. Yeah, I was about to say the East Coast, but I think it's the biggest in the United States. Naval Station Norfolk, right? So we was there while the ship was getting built. So we was at the barracks. So like if we wasn't training, like going to classes and stuff during the day, like you work during the day, go to your classes, get your certifications, get your training, pass your courses, whatever, and then you free to do whatever you want. So we was running around Norfolk. We was in the hood. We was going to Portsmouth. We was going to Newport News. We was going like wherever, Hampton. All the colleges is over there. So we was like, I'm 18 years old.
You
You know
wildin'.
what I'm saying? Wilding, like underage drinking. You're not even supposed to do that in the military. They don't play. They don't play about DUIs. They don't play about underage drinking, and they don't play about adultery. That's things in the military that could get you jammed up. Those is three things, and drugs
While you
and
had your
drugs.
L's, you had your license while you was out there, like,
Nah, nah, I ain't even had I ain't get my license till came back from overseas.
so you wasn't
You know what I'm
driving
saying?
though, right?
Now I was with people though. You know what I'm saying? People had cars and stuff like that. So I
Right,
was
right,
just
right,
like, you link up with people. I met a few dudes. Like, it's funny because like you might start off chilling with, couple dudes, and then y'all just drift apart. There don't even be no beef, no nothing. Like, you
right.
just drift apart, and then you click up with other dudes. So like, um, when I was at the deck before I got on the ship, I was cool with a dude from Jersey, um, man from Jersey, and then later
Fuck is
on,
that?
huh?
I saw that thumbs up flash across the screen. I'm
Oh,
like,
that
yo,
was
what?
me. That was
Oh,
me.
word?
Yeah, but nah, my man from Jersey, and then my man who I'm still cool with to this day, man. That's like my brother. My man from Chicago. Um, like me and him linked, and then my man from the Bronx. And then we had another partner. He was from Florida. But then like you get cool with people, but like those was the dudes I was like mobbing with, getting into trouble with, you know what I'm saying, partying with, and doing all that stuff. And then when we had to go check into the ship to get the ship commissioned in Florida, we flew to Mississippi to move on board the ship. And that was like a wild experience too, being in Pascagoula, because it's like a small town, racist. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
always tell people, they had this mall, Pascagoula Mall. It was one floor, and we populated the mall. Like my ship, the people from my ship populated the mall. Like the mall wasn't getting no traction. We coming in there, they looking at us. You know, we ain't doing nothing but saving. I mean, I'm not even saying saving. Like we was spending money. We ain't had nothing else to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, and we from up north, we from up top. So we like to get fly, whatever. So we going in the mall, and they looking, staring at us like they never seen black people before. And my man from the Bronx, he Puerto Rican. So they looking at him like, what are you? You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what, like, they act like they never seen a Puerto Rican. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
half breed?
Yeah, right, right. So like, yo, it's crazy because I remember one night we saw the KKK burning a cross, like in a
Mm,
field. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? We was driving to this spot called Thunders. And then everybody
Mm.
who was on the Iwo Jima or stationed in Pascagoula know what Thunders is. You know what I'm saying? Thunders is like some, like, yo, they don't play no hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just
Yo,
a spot to
I
drink.
have to say this. I have to say this while you mention Thunders, because in Long Island there's a big famous gay club called Thunders. You know what I'm saying? Cool Herc used to play
Wow,
there. You know what I'm saying? So, they used to do a straight night once in a while. And I ain't even gonna lie, I pulled up in there with Mad Zulus on straight night.
that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? But the idea like of being at that club was kind of bizarre. But
I
so
would
when
have
you
never
say
went.
Thunders right away, I'm thinking the craziness.
Yo, nah, that joint was wild, man. But I remember one night we was either going to or coming back from Thunders.
Oh,
I think we was coming back. We smashed, of course, like, you know what I'm saying, swerving on the road, and then you see like in the far distance, you see the joint, you just see this light, and then you getting closer and closer, and you see them.
yeah.
You see the cross burn, and we just like, yo, we gotta hurry up and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So like after we saw that, um, we wasn't really like going out in Pascagoula like that. So what we would do was like if we had the weekends free, we would drive to Florida. We would drive. I remember we drove to New Orleans one weekend because all that stuff is like a couple hours from each other. So
Right.
we was just taking like whoever had a car, we would rent a car, and we would go. We would go to I remember we was in Pensacola, We ended up going there anyway because that's where the ship got commissioned. But
Hmm.
we was in Roy Jones Club one night, you know what I mean? And a fight broke out in there. He was in there. He was in there. He was in there
Mm.
playing pool, and a fight broke out. Not with us, but it was just like a random fight or whatever.
Is that the
And
time he had that record out? I know he had a couple records out.
this was in 2001. So I
I
don't
think the
even know
record,
because I
yeah,
was,
came out maybe a year or so after.
yeah, I didn't even know Roy Jones was rapping until I heard that joint. But
Hmm.
that joint was trash, but whatever. Um,
For the record.
word. But yeah, nah, we was just moving around, man. We was just moving around, having fun, being young, and just moving around, wilding out. You know what I'm saying?
Your
Do,
shipmates, what, heavy drinking, drug use, woman,
well,
women.
well, I wasn't around dudes that did drugs like that until later. You know what I'm saying? When we could get to that later because some funny. I got some wild, funny stories about that. But yeah, there's people doing drugs, definitely. Even though there's a zero tolerance, and you get kicked out if you fail a drug test. Um,
But are they giving you a urinalysis often
yeah,
enough? Like
yo, it depends though. It
people getting
depends. Like,
popped?
yo, heck yeah. Like, yo, it go like this, right? If they suspect you, like it's supposed to be random in the system. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like you might like because each department they'll be like, "Yo, you got urinalysis. You got urinalysis today. You got urinalysis."
Report,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Yeah. So you got to report to the master at arms, and you got to present the urine sample. You know what I'm saying? And then they pick like say it's like a batch of they batch it by like 20. You know what I'm saying? So they might sample two out of the batch, and if one pop, they test the whole batch.
Ooh,
So that's
wow,
how they be catching people. Or if they suspect you personally of something, they gonna test it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Me, um, to talk about this now because I'm honorably discharged and I don't even smoke weed anymore. But there was a time where I was smoking like I wasn't in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? And dudes was like taking niacin pills and getting these $50 flush drinks. And I remember I was dodging urinalysis all day. I remember one time dude was like, yo, if you don't hurry up and present this sample by such and such hours, 1,500 hours, we're gonna send you to medical and they're gonna extract the pee out of you with a catheter. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like dudes was threatening me to, but I had to let the niacin pills work first for me to for them for the niacin to activate so I could present the urine. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I was in there hot, literally hiding on the ship, trying to like, drink mad water and take the pills, and then like you take one you piss one time and then the second piss will be clear. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
don't want to give them the yellow joint. You want to give them the kind of clear joint. And
Hmm.
then that joint look like Sprite. And then you like, here you go. Here you go. And
Yeah,
then like, yo,
you don't want to give them the apple juice. You want to
right.
give them the
Yo,
Sprite.
when I went AWOL, I didn't do nothing. I didn't get high. And of course they drug tested me when I came back. But yeah,
How
man,
long were
that
you AWOL?
29 days. Word. 30 days. After 30, you're a deserter.
Wow.
Or yeah, and that's let me talk about that real quick because this is a famous story amongst my shipmates. This is like kind of historic. Nobody I'm the reason, and I'm not even trying to brag. Like, all right, when you I have 6 NJPs in my service record. That's non-judicial punishment, right? Is something that like if you have any kind of infraction, they give you a NJP. It's non-judicial. That means you don't go to jail. You don't get court-martialed for it. You stand in front of a board and they decide. It's steps. Like you stand in front of the DRB. Like this is a group of chiefs, enlisted officers. Um, non-commissioned officers. You stand in front of them, and whatever charges you got, you try to speak, they be yelling at you, whatever. Then it goes to the executive officer, then it goes to the commanding officer, and they give you a punishment, whatever. Normally the punishment is restriction to the ship for a certain amount of days. You can't leave, and when the ship goes out to sea, it doesn't count. So it only counts when the ship is docked in port,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you get fined. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hit your paycheck, they hit your pockets, and then you got to do extra duty after your working hours. A different department will
It's
come
a
get you to
lot.
clean up their stuff, right? So I'm like, you have to go to get on the base, you have to show your ID, right? To get past the guards at the pier, you have to show your ID. To get on the ship, you have to request permission to get on the ship with your ID. When you get punished with restriction, they take your ID card, right? Because you can't leave the ship. So they give you a restriction badge that you're supposed to clip to your working uniform, right? And you have to get inspected 5 times a day. And you have to be in bed at 10 o'clock, right? Taps, as they call it. Taps is 10 p.m., right? Have to be in your bed. All restricted personnel. Um, so I'm the reason that ships have a restricted board on the quarterdeck with pictures of the restricted personnel, because I was on restriction and I fled the ship. I got off the ship. You know what I'm saying? I had the entire base looking for me. I had the K9 unit looking for me. Yo, it was crazy. A lot of people like their naval careers was on the line because of me, because I got off the ship while
Because they
being
don't know if you're
restricted.
dead or alive, right? They don't
They
know.
don't know nothing. But I'm gonna
Right.
tell you the story. So it go like we were coming back from New Orleans. Um we went to Mardi Gras. Like, I was supposed to march in a parade. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I wandered off, whatever. I ain't want to march in a parade, whatever. Right. So on the way back, I had got charged with a petty officer. Right? So a petty officer is an enlisted E4 or above. Like, it go from E4 to E6, third class, second class, first class, right? So this second class, he was a second class at the time, and I used to work for him. Me and him had got into it, you know what I'm saying? And we had got into it, and he cursed at me, so I cursed back, right? So he wrote me up, whatever. So they took me to captain's mast. I think that was like my second NJP, right? So I was supposed to go on. This is around Christmas time when we coming back. I was supposed to go on leave for 2 weeks, right? So when you get charged, they take the leave. Automatic leave is done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they they hit me with the 35 days restriction, 35 days extra duty, half pay, right? That was my fine, half pay, right?
Mm.
So I'm mad, right? So I'm talking to my man. I'm like, yo, man, yo, I gotta go home. Like, my family's expecting me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we getting close, and the phones was working. Like, sometimes, like, if you're a certain amount of nautical miles out, you could still your phone, like, you could still hit the tower or whatever. So I called my mother, I told her what happened, and then she told me, like, this lady who was like a another grandmother to me. You know what I'm saying? She used to watch me when my grandmother was at work or whatever. She had died. So that kind of, like, I was like, dag, man, on top of that, I was like, I can't come home. So now I can't go to the funeral, can't, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm
Yeah.
mad now. So I'm like, yo, I packed my sea bag up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm out. My man's like, yo, where you going? I was like, yo, I'm out of here. I was like, yo, when the ship dock, I'm getting off of here. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. I said, yo, so I gave my bag to my man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, take this off. My man from the Bronx. I was like, yo, take this joint off with you, take it to your crib. I'll meet you there. He was like, you sure? I was like, yo, I'm gonna meet you there. So my man from Chicago, we both the same complexion. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
don't look nothing alike. We just the same complexion. So I was like, yo, let me hold your ID. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, all right, whatever. So the ship docked, you know what I'm saying? Like they put the brow down for people to walk down on the pier. My department is the first to go on the pier. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to check, like we in navigation, so we got to check to make sure everything is right on the pier, right? Before they call Liberty call for the people to get off the ship, whatever, right? So I'm like, yo, I get up to the quarter deck and I ask the girl on watch, I'm like, yo, permission to leave the ship. And she was like, Wilson, you on restriction. I got the
Mm.
idea, like you on restriction. My man's like, yo, just let him go. So I dipped. Like the officer of the deck, he was a chief at the time. He had his back turned because he was on the phone. You know what I'm saying? He had his back turned. He was on the ship phone. So I bounced. You know what I'm saying? And it's dark. It's late. You know what I'm saying? It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I'm walking, like I'm moving through the pier. You know what I'm saying? It's a long walk to the gate, to the front gate. So I'm moving through the pier and I see this girl that worked with us. She's like, Wilson, Wilson, Wilson. I'm ignoring her. I'm like, why is she calling my name? Like, and so I'm running. So I get through the gate. They had just called my name. You know what I'm saying? They call an emergency, emergency. You know what I'm saying? Seaman Wilson has escaped, whatever they said. I don't even remember what they said, but my man from Cincinnati, shout out my man, Eugene Copeland. I'm always shout him out because he like just so happened. I'm dipping. I ran across the street into the parking lot. I see him. He pull up. I remember he had like a red Trans Am or something. He rolled down the
Mm.
window and was like, yo, they looking for you. Get in. Yo, I did
Mm.
some Dukes of Hazzard joint and jumped in, feet hanging out. He pulled off. He was like, yo, where you going? I was like, yo, take me to the homie crib. You know what I'm saying? And when I pulled up to my man apartment, him and his wife at the time, you know, and his baby, you know, like he opened the door. He was like, yo, I can't believe you made it. He was like, yo, what happened?
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, I had to get up out of there. So, you know, like I said, I stayed going for 29 days. My mother didn't even know I was leaving. Only people that
Mm.
knew from my family was my grandmother and my aunt. And they was telling me to go back. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna go back, just not right now. You know what I'm saying? At first, I wasn't gonna go back at all. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because like I said, after 30 days, you're a deserter. So you know, like if you get in any trouble, you get a traffic ticket, whatever, is they run your social security, like it's gonna come up that you AWOL from the military. And I was still getting paid, so I'm shopping. I'm like, I was at my
Whoa.
man crib for the first couple of days, you know, laying low at my man crib. Then I had met a chick that was in the Navy too. Like, cause like in Norfolk, like it's a high percentage that you're gonna run into somebody from the Navy too, because it's a Navy town, you know,
Right.
like so I'm meeting people, I'm staying here, staying there, you know what I'm saying, for 29 days. And then um on the 29th day, I went back to the ship and I called the ship. I was like, yo, this is Seaman Wilson. I'm AWOL, I'm turning myself in. You know what I'm saying? But like for them 29 days, I was wild and I was out of control. I just didn't smoke. I just didn't smoke no weed because I knew they was going to drug test me. And if I
Yeah.
failed, I get kicked out and get sent home. So, you know,
They were
them
spazzing when you returned, right?
they was mad. Yo, it was a big conspiracy. It was a big conspiracy. And and,
Well,
and mind you, this is after 9/11. You know what I'm saying? So like we're ready to go. We basically in war mode. And going AWOL is punishable under death. You know what I'm saying? According to the
I didn't even know that.
UCMJ. Yeah, like you supposed to get shot by firing squad. Word up. So I remember when I turned myself in rather, it was a big conspiracy. They had me and they had two of my peoples on trial. You know what I'm saying? They both got in trouble. I ended up doing 80 days restriction, 80 straight days of restriction, 80
Mm.
days extra duty. Um, so I
Did
was
they
on
hit you in the
restriction for
pocket
almost 3 months.
also?
Oh, yo, I remember one of my checks was zero. Word up,
Damn.
word
Damn.
up. Like one of my joints was zero. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I did it. I did it. I did my my almost 3 months, did it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't complain about it, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like my trusted people, I used to give them my debit card. If an album came out, I was like, yo, such and such
Mm.
album came out, go cop that for me. If I wanted food, I'm like, yo, bring me back something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And they held me down. So to everybody that held me down in my bed, I appreciate y'all because,
Word.
it got me through. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't my last time getting in trouble. Like I said, I got 6 NJPs. Most of them was for violence. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. Um, and I made it though. Like I remember when I told somebody I got six, and they was like, "How you got six and you got an honorable discharge?" Every time I went in front of the captain, my department would kind of like stick up for me and be like, "Yeah, he's salvageable. You could salvage him. You could salvage him. You know what I'm saying? He's a good worker. He just got to be put on the right track." They always wanted me to play the game. You know what I'm saying? But I just
Hmm.
didn't want to. You know what I mean? So you know.
What are some of the things you feel like you've had your crazy experiences? Like, give me a couple positive things that you feel like you took out of the Navy and brought that back with you, you know?
Discipline,
Hmm.
discipline, learning how to deal with um all kinds of people, you know what I'm saying? Um, being vigilant, paying attention to detail. It's certain things that I do like it's a part of my routine because of the military, because of the Navy, you know what I'm saying? Um, just paying attention to detail and being patient too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And knowing how to work with people regardless of however they are, or if y'all have some type of clash. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I done worked alongside racists. You know what I'm saying? People that we didn't like each other, I might not like them or they don't like me, but to get the job done and to protect each other also. And, because some of these exercises, even if we're not at war, a lot of these exercises we do are very dangerous. So you can severely get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's the stuff I learned.
I mean, definitely good
You
things
know,
to, take back with you and implement them in your daily life. Because there's men that are our age that don't even have discipline, in their 40s. You know what I mean?
right.
So
Yeah,
to take that
yeah,
back is something, that, it's kind of like foundational, discipline. You could like turn your whole life around just by gaining that type of discipline. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it
Um,
was fun.
when you when you were almost done with the military, done with the Navy, you ended early or you finished out your full term?
I did my four. I mean, but I got out early because I had all this leave saved up. Uh, uh, Due to me getting in trouble a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I had a lot of leave, so I actually and I had to like them days I went AWOL, I had to give those back. I had to get like
mm,
I started October 10th, and it kind of like prorated. So my end date was October 27th, 2004, instead of October 10th, 2024. I mean 2004, because I came in October 10th, 2000, but because I went AWOL, like they added days, like I owed them. You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm,
like, but I still got out 2 months early because I had 2 months worth of leave saved. So I got out like August, and then I got my discharge papers. I signed my DD 214, and I got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to stay, part of me, but
mm-hmm.
part of me, like I felt if I stayed, I would have got kicked out. Because like I said, by that time I was smoking again. I was smoking weed. I wasn't even like I said, I was acting like I wasn't even in the Navy. When I came back from overseas in '03, and I was overseas for 9 months, um, I was kind of over it. I was like, yo, man, I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling these people. I'm like, yo, I can't even like you could see like like you supposed to wear steel toe boots on the
Hmm.
ship because the ship is like a warehouse. You could bang your foot, something could fall on your foot, but you got steel toe boots as a protection. Yo,
Hmm.
somebody had stole my boots, right? And I was like, I'm not coming out my pocket buying another pair of steel toe boots, and I'm about to get out. So I was on the ship wearing dunks. You know what I'm saying? I had some, I remember I had some leather and mesh. They was beige and navy blue dunks.
Low or
Lows
high?
too.
Low.
Lows. Looking crazy. With the when I had my navy coveralls on. Had my navy coveralls on. They was navy blue, and I had the navy blue, navy blue and tan, khaki actually. They was khaki. Navy blue and khaki dunks walking around the ship, and they was looking like, yo, you got like some type of medical for that? I'm like, nope.
Mm.
They was mad, man. I was giving them, and like whoever was on the served on the Iwo Jima with me, they know like a lot of this stuff I'm saying. Like this is actual fact. Like I said, I think I told you before, I had people calling me Watt on the ship. They wasn't even calling me my last name. They thought my name was Watt. Officers and everything. They wasn't calling me Wilson. They wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? They was calling me Watt. A lot of them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't acting like I was in the service at all at the
Or
time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really care no more. As long as I didn't get kicked out. My whole thing was like, yo, do this for and don't embarrass your family. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen dudes get kicked out, and I've spoken to them, and like, like when they on their way home, they're like, dag, man, I done let so and so down. I done, you know what I'm saying? Like one of
yeah,
my peoples, he got kicked out. Um, and he was just concerned about just letting his grandmother down. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And so that was in the back of my mind. No matter what I went through, like even like all the fighting, all the like me wilding and all of that stuff, going AWOL, all of that stuff, telling people SMD and a whole bunch of other wild stuff, you know what I'm saying? Pool hall fights. Um, always had in the back of my mind, like, yo, man, if I get caught, if I get arrested, if I get this, and I actually got arrested while I was in the Navy too, you know what I'm saying? Got caught on the interstate with weed, had a gun put to my head by the officer. Had the joint on. I had a cigarette burning. My hands was on the dashboard so long that the
Mm.
cigarette actually started burning in between my fingers. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And I couldn't move because he was going to clap me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I think
like,
you mentioned that in episode 1, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah. It was that was a while. Yeah, that 4 years was crazy, man. I wouldn't change it though. It was adventurous. I used to like adventures, so it was real adventurous, man. Like I remember being in Newport News. They call it Bad News. I remember being in the projects out there. Like I remember when there was a weed drought and we was up
Hmm.
in there. We was up in the projects in Newport News. Like, yo, man, that stuff was crazy. It was crazy, yo. Like you would have never thought that I was in the Navy. You know what I'm
Or
saying? Like the way I was acting, the way I
mm,
was carrying myself. And I wasn't shaving properly because I hated shaving. So I had the no shave shit. You just couldn't shape your joint up. I mean, they pick and choose who they let they join up. I wasn't trying
or
to shape mine, so I was woofing. I was woofing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming through. I had little jewelry. That's when I was wearing gold. So, got a little jewelry. The throwback jerseys was popping. Um, North Face was popping. I'm walking. I'm like the first dude on the ship with Pradas on, and like dudes is like who the heck this New York dude think he is?
Or
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even caring about what y'all doing on the ship. I don't even care at that point. I'm just like, yo, whatever, man. Like, I remember one time I left, we was working. I left, went somewhere, smoked a blunt, came back to the ship and was just looking around, like, put the Visine in my eyes. I was looking around like, yo, man, like, how much time I got left? 9 months? Man, I can't wait to get out of here, man, and go back home. I remember when I was leaving, one of the chiefs told me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would say this to somebody young like that, because I was 22 when I got out. You're gonna tell me, yo, don't get killed in New York. And I looked at him and I told him, don't get killed here.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna make it. I'm like, yo, another dude telling me I ain't gonna make it.
yeah,
I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, and he was
yeah.
black too. Like he was a black dude, you know what I
Well,
mean?
it's
Like,
usually always your own that's gonna try
yeah,
to, you
yeah.
know,
I'm like, but why would you say that to me? I'm not like I wasn't presenting myself like a thug. I just wasn't taking no mess off of people.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way you feel like it. And then when I give you back what you're giving, it's don't get killed, don't this, you're disrespecting me, this, whatever.
yeah.
That's just people. That's people in authority, abuse of power, delusions of grandeur, all of that.
Or so it's interesting. You've told me a lot of stories about the military, so I know like, a lot of crazy stories, and you've told me a lot of dope, interesting, good things as well. So I know it's like kind of like a balance of positive and negative
Hmm.
experiences.
Hmm.
But I think ultimately what I get from it is that, it did help you become a man to a degree,
Hmm.
gave you that
Absolutely.
discipline, and there was a lot of benefits, insurance wise, financial wise, which, opened up a door for you, to um, basically provide for your family to a degree, you know what I mean?
Word, definitely,
So,
definitely.
you gotta look at the whole spectrum, you know what I mean? And
And I met some cool people that I'm still
right,
cool with to this day. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And,
right,
th- and
right.
then it's funny because there's people I know personally, they don't like me to this day. And it's fine. Like, like when you do things when you're a child or you're an adolescent or whatever, like people change. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was this dude, he from Queens too, dude from Queens, Dominican kid. He me and him started off cool, then we fell out and it was over a chick or whatever, and we never got back to being cool, and we fought a couple times, you know, and not for nothing, I
A
always
couple
got the best.
times.
I always got the best of him. You know what I'm saying? Like no shade to him or whatever, but it was what it was. Um, and then I remember I had reached out to him. Like I saw him on social media like a couple years after I got out. It's like when social media was just like
Hmm.
becoming a thing. I think it was MySpace or something. And I had just took my Shahada and reached out to him. I sent him a message and I apologized to him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I was a kid. I was like, yo, forgive me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not trying to be your friend or nothing like that. I'm just asking you. I'm just telling you I was wrong for what I done to you. Because there was a point where I felt like I was like low key bullying him. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like waking
Hmm.
up in the morning, he in my way. Like I just start with him because we already got that tension. You know what I'm saying? So I apologized to him. I was like, yo, I was stupid. I was ignorant, you know, um, and I apologize. Dude had the nerve to write me back talking crazy. And I'm
Or
just like, yeah. And he ain't threatened me or nothing like that. He just was talking crazy. I'll never be your friend. I was like, well, I wasn't even asking to be your friend. I was just
Right, right.
apologizing. And, you know, like I told him, I was like, yo, I changed my life. I'm not even on that
Hmm.
stuff no more. I'm Muslim, I'm trying to, improve myself. And then he
Hmm.
kept going. And I was like, yo, you know what? A little of the ignorance came back out of me. And I was like, well, I'll be in your area. You know what I'm saying? I go to the
Or
mall in your area. So if you see me and you feel like you need to do something, you know,
when you send
act
them
on it.
all,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I was like, act on it. You know what I'm saying? So, and he never
that
responded.
that's corny though, because you striving to grow and hold
Right,
yourself accountable for some of your shortcomings
right,
and,
right,
and make
right.
amends, and then dude want to go to the corny route and try to get tough. Like you already washed him up a few times, so he
Yeah,
should have
yeah,
humbled himself and say, "Hey man, thank you." Like, but that's his lack of
yeah.
maturity as well
Mm,
on display. You know what I mean?
right.
Um, but
And
that's
and then
dope
I
though.
heard some stuff. I heard some stuff like years, like recently actually. I heard something, but I was just like, yo, we in our 40s. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a father of a few. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't got time to be playing with you, man. Like,
Yeah,
if you're not over that, bro, like, what we supposed to do? We supposed to square up one more time so you can finally get
it's
a
corny.
victory, bro. Like, come
It's
on,
corny.
man. Like, leave that alone. Or you trying to make like a joke out of it. Like, I hope you're doing well for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
anybody I ever had a problem with, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I'm not even on that kind of time, you know?
right. Picture, and I think we do this often as a people, so-called Black, so-called Latino people. We hold these grudges with people forever,
Yeah.
and that should be festering in your soul. I think me and you've discussed this, like with our fathers, our angle, like not necessarily having our fathers in our lives the way we
Mm,
wanted them to be in our lives, and when you have that anger, that disappointment, that pain festering inside your heart, um, it kind of just weighs you down, man, and you just gotta like let it go at some point and just
right.
move on and move forward, and when you do that, you're gonna feel like I know I felt relief from just, leaving it alone
Yo,
because
man,
that stuff will eat you
you,
alive, yo.
you know what's crazy? I had a fight with a dude on my ship, right? Um, he was my he outranked me, right? So I remember one night, he had watch, he had to go on watch, but he was sleeping in the lounge, and I wanted to shine my boots and watch TV, right? Because I had a watch. Um, so he sleep. I turned the light on. He got his head down on the table, and I'm like, yo, like, he's like, yo, turn the light off. I'm like, yo, like, why don't you go in your rack? Your rack over. I don't want to sleep in my rack. I said, "All right, so I'm gonna shine my boots. Go shine your boots in your aisle." I'm like, no, like the lounge is not for sleeping, right? You know. So, long story short, like I turned the light on, he turned it off. I turned it back on, he turned it off. He was like, yo, touch the light one more time. So I got my CD player, I got my Discman. So I turned it on. He grabbed me. So I broke the CD player over his head. We start fighting, right? I smashed him in the head with the CD player, joint CD fly, whatever. So we scrapping. He used to wrestle in high school. Small brolic dude. He's a bodybuilder right now. You know what I'm saying? He's a bodybuilder right now. You know what I'm saying? At 41 years old, the bodybuilder. So they broke us up. So when they grabbed me, he sucker punched me. Boom. It's not even a sucker punch because we already. I hate that term because it's so loosely used, right? So they grabbed me, he hit me, whatever. So I'm trying to break free. So they separated us. So I grabbed the lock, the master lock, off my locker. Now, mind you, I got shower shoes on, like while I'm fighting. He got full uniform, boots
When
on.
you say
I
shower
got
shoes,
shower shoes.
what's that like? Some flops,
Yeah, like flip flops, right?
right?
Because you're supposed to wear shower shoes when you get in the shower. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in there barefoot, whatever.
Right.
Um, to
Catch
say
some
from
fungus
like,
or some
yeah, Cape
shit.
Fungal, whatever, right? So I'm in the shower shoes. So They separate us. I grabbed the lock, come back. We start fighting again. I'm banging them with the lock now. Boom, boom,
Mm,
boom, boom, boom.
dirty.
Like, yeah, did him dirty, ear bleeding. Um, had a black eye from when he hit me. Um, to this day, I don't have an issue with him. And we saw each other years later while when we both got out, embraced each other, everything. Now, I could have killed him with the lock, or I could have severely, like he told me, like I messed his ear up. Like there was ringing in his ear, like
Mm,
years later because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have felt some kind of way about me, or vice versa. I could have, like, he blacked my eye, could have wanted to get some get back on him. But when we saw each other, we laughed about it. He even joked with me because I didn't even have kids at the time. He was like, "Yo, what's up with you, man? You ain't got no kids yet?" You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And, like it was water under the bridge, but some people, they just can't take a L. You know what I'm saying? They just can't take a L, or like, I don't know if it's fragile male ego. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to that dude though. You know what I mean? Hope everybody I ever had an issue with is doing well. And like, when we were young and we might have had an issue, I hope everybody's doing well. We ain't gotta be friends. Uh, that's not the, you know, that's not the
right,
goal, to be your friend. You know what
right, right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, man. That's dope, man. Seems like you had some good shipmates and some bad ones. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, we had some real dirt bags, man.
well,
The hygiene was crazy for some people. I seen, yo, man, like I seen dudes. I remember, cause we all men, so dudes is walking around like it's jail. Dudes walking around in their underwear. Some people wear tidy whities. Some people wear boxers. I remember, like, yo, dudes normally bring, like, when you go take a shower, you normally bring your towel and a clean pair of drawers, or you just bring your towel and you'll hang the dirty drawers up on the hook. Yo, I remember somebody stole my man drawers, his dirty drawers, and was wearing them. And it was a Mexican dude, stole my man from the Bronx. Yo, Angel, if you listening, you please respond, because he told me, he was like, yo, what? Yo, son stole my drawers. I said, what drawers? He said, the drawers I just took off. I said, you
dirty
lying.
draws.
He said he got them on right now. And I turned, pudgy Mexican dude got the drawers on. I'm like, oh, snap, son, he got your drawers on. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And we ain't even say nothing. He's like, yo, he can have them, bro. Like, he can
He
have
can.
them. I'm like, yeah, like, you might catch jockeyed, you might catch whatever. You don't know what that man got. How you know that?
Word.
Like, how you don't know that's not your
Crabs.
drawers, though?
Right.
How you don't know that's not your drawers? You know
Word.
what I'm saying? Son had
Maybe he
his
liked
drawers
them.
on. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did, yo.
That was like a collector's item.
Son had his
You know,
drawers
some
on.
people
Son
collect
stole,
drawers.
yo, he stole son drawers, yo. Yo,
Filthy.
man. Yo, man. I got like, we could sit here for hours, and I got like unlimited stories where
Yeah,
it
we're
was
gonna
so
get
many
back to that.
characters, so
We're
many
gonna
characters, yo. So
yeah.
many, like, but like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good experience. Like, you know, and a lot of that stuff, it helps you, like, deal with decision making, quick decision making.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the activities, a lot of the exercises we was doing, a lot of the drills we were doing helped you, like, be on point. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to. It's
right,
supposed to
right,
help
right,
you,
right.
like, be on point and pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Like I said. But yeah, them 4 years was wild, man. It was wild.
What I would like to do is I want to get a couple of the other Zulus that's been in the Navy also, and we'll do an episode with all, a few of the brothers
That'll
that,
be fire.
what I'm
That'll
saying,
be
a couple
fire.
of y'all
Yeah.
to, talk that Navy talk,
Yeah.
share some experiences, just from different, brothers that, from different areas and share those experiences, man. Um, but I appreciate that, and I definitely want to run back some stories, some more stories about the Navy. I think we're gonna have to do a part three with you,
That's
and
crazy, man.
talk
Oh
about
yeah,
you know faith and
yeah, yeah,
your journey with that, because I know there's a lot to that as well, and
yeah,
I don't wanna rush through that
yeah.
because
It
that
started
may
in the
be
Navy
that's
too.
probably the most important, right? A lot of
Hmm.
stories with that that we're gonna
Hmm.
get back into as well, but I want to give it its due, because
Right,
it's ultimately it's the most important thing that we could probably discuss. You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? So
Yeah,
I want to get back to that and give it its proper time. You
yeah.
know,
I know. People was expecting for me to be R-rated in this with the stories. You know what I'm saying? I got them. I got them. I got crazy, crazy joints. You know, people is
if you
just
wish to tell them, brother, we could definitely
people
get on
crazy,
the
man.
yeah.
Like I was telling you the other day, man. Like I was I was dating this female um while that was on my ship for a minute, and we was dating, and we was in Spain, right? We was in Spain, and prostitution is legal in a lot of these countries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the prostitutes have. I've never been in any of these places, but some of my shipmates shared stories with me because I had a girl at the time. So they have immunization cards. They got to make sure they clean and everything. Their shots is up to date. So I remember me and Shorty was going horseback riding on the beach, and we were walking to the spot, right? So I hear my name, like, yo, what? And I look up, and it's my man from Brooklyn, my man Chi. Shout out to my man Chi. He hanging out the window, like, yo, come up here, son. Come up here, da 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 da. And then he sees Shorty, he's like, oh, my fault. So, and this is at the time when the digital camcorders was out. And I had one. Brothers was getting the digital cameras, digital camcorders, whatever, filming everything, recording everything, whatever. So we go horseback riding. Like a couple days later, I'm back on the ship because we stayed in Spain for like a week. So I get back on the ship. So I'm talking to my man, my same man from Brooklyn. He's like, yo, your man Bumberclot is wilding. There was a dude from Brooklyn, Jamaican cat. We used to call him Bumberclot. I think he retired from the Navy too. Like he made it a career. He did his thing. He ranked up, all of that. But his Jamaican accent was so thick. You know what I'm saying? We used to just joke on him and call him Bumberclot. And he used to respond to it too. Like he took it in jest. You know what I'm saying? We were like, yo, Bumberclot, whatever, whatever, whatever. They said Bumberclot was in there. Bumberclot got thrown out of the whorehouse. So I'm like, yo, how Bumberclot get thrown out of the whorehouse? He said, you know, he was doing whatever with this prostitute, and he was so drunk he threw up on her. You know what I'm saying? So he threw up. They say, they say he threw up on her entire back, all in her hair. They say he was projectile vomiting on her, like on some exorcist type, type stuff. And the security grabbed him and tossed him out, like little physically threw him out of the spot. I'm like, yo, how you get thrown out the spot for that, bro? Like it was crazy. It was crazy. We was clowning him the whole way back to America. Like back to the States. We was clowning son like, yo, you a wild dude. And um what I was gonna say, when we went
Go to the
overseas,
whorehouse sick, you heard?
were yo, I got I wasn't even 21 when we first left to go overseas, right? So when you first go, they got people like when you go out in town, they call it Liberty. So I was placed on Liberty risk. You know what I'm saying? For no reason, I didn't have no drinking issues. I didn't have none of that. Just because I was the type of person I was, they put the first port we hit, they put me on Liberty risk. And the first port we hit was uh, what was it called? that place where they got the that weird animal called the geep. It's like a sheep and a goat mixed. It's a hybrid animal.
Mm,
Food is good. I had a geep burger. That joint good though. A
never heard
geep
of that.
burger. Yeah, it's a geep. It's a sheep and a goat. You could Google it. Geep. Where was it? Not Malta. Um, Creta. Creta. It's by Greece.
Mm,
Creta. 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 Right? It's by Greece. It's right below. It's like a little island below Greece. We was in there, and I couldn't leave the base, and I couldn't drink, and I had to be on the ship early. You know what I'm saying? Like because I was on Liberty Risk. They thought I guess I don't know what they thought I was going to do. I wasn't going to do nothing. I ain't like you know what I'm saying. What I'm gonna do? Leave and not come back and be stuck in Creta. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm-hmm.
what am I gonna do? You know that and like stuff like that. Like kind of pissed me off. But like the second spot we went to, I was able to because I ain't get in trouble. So second spot we went to was Malta. And that was the same at the same time they was filming the movie Troy with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. We were there while they were filming because they filmed it in Malta. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Malta was dope. I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. I seen my man wash
By
somebody up in
Italy, right?
Malta. Yeah, yeah. My man Chi washed this dude up in Malta. We almost got into a bar fight over there with the Marines too. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It was gonna get crazy in there, but dudes broke it up or whatever. But it's funny because they had like there was this one spot where they got like bars on both sides of the street and you walk in, and I seen some chick handing out flyers like promoting this spot, and we was like yo, too young to be like, what's the drinking age here? Like 16, she's like a little kid, like a teenager walking around, and we young too, we like 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yo, what you doing? You know what she said? What you talking about? I'm from Jamaica, Queens. She
mm,
was like, what? I'm from Jamaica, Queens. Don't nobody say that. Don't nobody say they from Jamaica, Queens. I was like, where you from? Where in Jamaica, Queen? She was like, Sufton and 108. I'm like, oh nah. Like, you from Jamaica, like you from Southside Jamaica, Queens at
mm-hmm.
that. But she was like, yeah, I'm from like this is my family's from here. I just be coming out here in the summer. You know what I'm saying? I got me a little job and she hooked us up. We was up in there, free drinks, you know what I'm saying? Like we was up in there wilding. I'm not gonna get too explicit, but we was in there
Mm,
bugging out. We was in there bugging out that night. And like I said, I don't drink or smoke anymore, so I don't have an issue talking about it because that's a part of my life that's way in the past. You know what I'm saying? But definitely overseas was a different kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
that's dope. That's dope. You definitely got stories for days, man. And I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to hearing some more of
yeah,
these
we can.
stories. Definitely looking
Uh,
forward to hearing some of these stories. But we'll wrap this one up. It's a little over an hour already. You know what I'm saying? So we'll strive to get back to um some more stories, and I definitely want to get into the brother Watts' faith and all of that as well.
Hold on, I might
Very
have to write a
important.
book. I might have to write a book or something. Come out with a
Word.
little YouTube series, a
Yeah, you
Tubi
should.
series or something. Yo,
Yeah, nah, you should.
Tubi, sign me up, yo. You know what
Word.
I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
Sign me
Holla
up.
at me
We
first
get a
because I'm
little
managing them. You know what I'm saying?
we get a little movie thing, little series going.
Word.
I got enough for like 5 seasons.
Yeah, and in all honesty, like we've had these episodes, right? This is like what, episode 20, and we haven't even really discussed like street shit like that. Like
Right,
we've been
right,
keeping
right,
it
right,
very clean, very
right,
respectful for our so-called opposition or whatever previous stories, bang outs.
right.
We've been through a lot, and that's not to glorify violence, because man, I could take it. I wish I could take it all back and just say it never happened, none of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You know what I'm saying? But because a lot of it should be corny, a lot of it be unnecessary. Um,
Or
but like it's really, I really don't even want to discuss it like that. Like I feel like sometimes I want to discuss it, but I don't. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because it's like
yeah,
it shit is so real that it might just
trigger
open
something.
up a scab and
Right,
just
right, right,
it might get active in the streets just like that. Like it's still
right,
sensitive. You know what I mean?
right.
20 years later, a bang out then could actually go down right now in 2024 easy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I don't even want to even talk about it like that. But the past is the past. Um, we got some stories to come though, some crazy ones. A lot more coming from Spears and Mike's. Peace to Razor, peace to Just P. We did this joint solo on the late night with the seeds sleeping and all of that. Um, and we got more to come. You heard?
Wow.
So hit that like, subscribe, share, all of that. Spread the word about Spears and Mike's. And we appreciate the listeners, the support, the feedback. It's much appreciated. Keep it tuned. You heard?
Peace.
Salute, peace.